dog, you used to hang with me. I feel like the world done changed on me. The world done changed on me. They don't know my pain, homie. They don't know my pain. They don't know my pain. They don't know my pain. I feel like the world done changed on me. Done changed on me.
I can't believe that I called you my brother and then you changed. Can't believe that you did it this way. We're against the grain. Can't believe when I look in your eyes, shit ain't the same. Hidden animosity from the ones that I call my friends, the ones I broke my neck for, ones I blew a check on. Got me wanting to bust your head cause you went against the code. You either with me or against me, homie. Ain't no middle ground. Ain't no U-turns in my clique. If you leave, don't come back round. Loyalty over love. Do you know what that mean? Mean I could love you with all my heart and still not give a shit about you, cause your words and your actions ain't matching, and that's the issue. Got me questioning myself like what the fuck I did to niggas.
I can't believe you changed on me. Used to be my dog, you used to hang with me. I feel like the world done changed on me. The world done changed on me. They don't know my pain, homie. They don't know my pain. They don't know my pain. They don't know my pain. I feel like the world done changed on me. Done changed on me. Done changed.
I show love to some niggas that really deserve an Oscar. Imposter. Can't believe these fake niggas on my roster. Got me thinking you my dog the whole time your nuts crossed. When this shit hit the fan, that's when the truth come out. Don't tell me what that nigga said, but why he said to you. Why you ain't dead it from the start. Got me questioning your heart. Gotta check this sucker shit, cause this shit fucking with my mind. Can't say it to my face, so I know you ain't got no spine. Look you dead in your face and call your pussy ass a lie. Can't believe I ain't see this shit coming the whole time. Man, I fed these niggas, took care of these niggas. How the fuck you switch up and try to change on me, nigga?
I can't believe you changed on me. Used to be my dog, you used to hang with me. I feel like the world done changed on me. The world done changed on me. They don't know my pain, homie. They don't know my pain. They don't know my pain. They don't know my pain. I feel like the world done changed.
I ain't tripping. I done been through that rain. I been changing. You been thinking about lines. Okay, we are over. I done range. Don't call me, say call back. I won't sweat, you ain't all that. Thinking about my old days. Most my dreams be all racks. Bitch, remember all that. Let me go ahead and get my heart back. Thinking about my old days. Damn it, I'm back to my old ways. Pages from me a folded. Love her cause she know me. She know I be tripping. I don't care about what them hoes say. Pages from me a folded. Love her cause she know me. She know I be tripping. I don't care about what them hoes say. Gripping ass all while she sleeping. Tweaking you was on one this weekend. Bitch bad, you niggas mad. Gave me pussy in my Adidas. We been wildin' and drinking more. Feel like Hennessy cleanse my soul. Don't be blocking my blessings, baby. I don't think about love no more. We been out rolling all day. Running up, babe, trying to get me a sack. I don't like vibing with wild bitches. I like girls who know how to act. See me pulling up right at the stove. Plug one $1, I'm like, oh no. No, I ain't cheap, I just know what to do. Go to my dog on the full flow. Kick the shit, I'm loco. All my niggas bang roll. Babe, just peep my mojo. Puffin' on power like JoJo. I ain't been doing drugs no more. I don't even pull no mofos. Baby, I'm fresh like Colgate. When I get on my dog straight. Family and friends, they let me down. They don't even post a nigga sound. Now you gon' hear it, how that sound. When a nigga really stop coming around. Said last week anybody could get it. I meant that then and I meant that now. Damn it, lately been feeling so petty. Don't jock my style, it's going down. Call me, say call back. I won't sweat, you ain't all that. Thinking about my old days. Most my dreams be all racks. Bitch, remember all that. Let me go ahead and get my heart back. Thinking about my old days. Damn it, I'm back to my old ways. Pages from me a folded. Love her cause she know me. She know I be tripping. I don't care about what them hoes say. Pages from me a folded. Love her cause she know me. She know I be tripping. I don't care about what them hoes say.
I'ma see it through. I got plans I'm keeping to. I got plenty things to do. Ain't got time for people who just retweet a link or two but never come support. Where were you at any shows I did along my tour? Ain't it hella funny how we all just base our life off opinions from the people that we barely even like? Fuck that fake shit, save it, I ain't got the time. So I'm doing everything I can to spin it right. Every now and then I think about the old days. They gon' hate it when I get back to my old way. Always keep my whole straight, fuck it every damn day. Bustin' on my whole face, could've had a family. You know I love it. I ain't worried about nothing. I'm the same, not a damn thing changed.
Call me, say call back. I won't sweat, you ain't all that. Thinking about my old days. Most my dreams be all racks. Bitch, remember all that. Let me go ahead and get my heart back. Thinking from me afforded. Love her cause she know me.
Somebody depressed, whoa, whoa. Yeah, somebody depressed, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Depressed. Whoa, bitches, right? Yeah, look, lost in this life of mine, like I do another time. Yeah, living this lonely life, you cold in the summertime. Yeah, feel like I wanna die off the coke to the dirty Sprite. Yeah, I just bought a new chopper, I might blow my pretty night. Yeah, I'm doing my thing and I'm fucking with you. You niggas so mad cause we winning, you lose. I go gorilla, you Winnie the Pooh. My bitch is so bad that I'm ready to boo. Yeah, and I'm still lost in my depression. I've been trying to tell life that I learned my lesson. I said look in the mirror, this shit start with you. You ain't fuck with me, then why you make it brand new? Fuck up the fit, you can put on the news. Just got a new top of that bitch, you can blow. You ain't getting no money, ain't getting no loot. I stay to myself, I don't fuck what you do. Just say you the best, gotta show and improve. I came in the game, what the fuck did I do? I'm drowning. Yeah, I'm still drowning in depressions while I'm learning my lessons. Yeah, I'm still.
You are now tuned in to K1ng Radio, the #1 independent radio station in South Florida. Another one.
Yeah, buddy.
There you go.
Welcome back. Sports Talk with Joey T and June. Live, K1ng Radio, Miami's #1 independent radio station.
Yes, sir.
Home of the independent artists. So let's start. Let's go back to Monday. Throw it back over to Monday. Miami Heat host Charlotte Hornets. And this team remains undefeated at home, protecting the home court.
The Heat without Udonis Haslem tonight. He's under the weather and not with the ball club. We'll play a drill with us, and off we go on another.
Now, we forced 19 turnovers in this game, or 14 turnovers. And Jimmy Butler had a nice one, going 21 points. Kendrick Nunn, 19. Bam had 21 points. So, up until this point, we remain undefeated at home. June, what's your take on this team so far to this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's finally good to, talking about today going forward, we're going to have Justice Winslow back. We'll miss Jimmy tonight, but looking back at that Hornets game, we played a competitive game. It was a great way to come back from a blowout loss versus the Sixers. That was more of just an embarrassment more than anything. I know that you mentioned that the Hornets had 14 turnovers, and we're obviously trying to top everybody that we play with turnovers. We had 19 again, so that was kind of another bad part to look at. But Miami's been struggling all season with turnovers. It hasn't really affected them in winning or losing games, oddly enough, especially at home, like you mentioned, undefeated. Charlotte was, I think, a perfect matchup to come back home, play a game versus a team that, you can definitely win, and they blew them out the gym. But playing that Philly, Sixers game on Saturday, to play another tough game would have been, kind of tough. So it was a good refresher. Now they're ready to, go into Houston. We just got to Houston, so we'll play Houston tonight. And I'm gonna be watching. We got no Jimmy Butler tonight, but he's averaging 19 a game. He's shooting 43%, and we gotta worry about how we're gonna stop James Harden. He's averaging 38 a game, and luckily we do have Justice Winslow back, as I mentioned. So on the defensive side of the ball, we can keep some pressure on him. We're not gonna stop him. We're gonna just try to limit him as much as possible. Hopefully Eric Gordon's hurt. Russell Westbrook, the P.J. Tuckers of the world are going to have to make the plays because if we let James Harden do this all night, we've seen it. I don't expect that Miami comes in here and blows them out by 40 like last time. Houston's a way different team. It was a Saturday night that they were here, and then we played them on Sunday, so there was the Miami Beach, excuse. This is a no excuses game. Houston's at 11-6, Miami's at 12-4, and we're going to try to go into Houston, and take that game from them.
Now, who do you want to see D up on Harden?
I mean, like I said, I would like to see Justice Winslow just because he's a great defender, but I do understand that Justice Winslow is just coming back from a 3-week absence, with a concussion. He's not, NBA speed ready, I don't believe, especially James Harden speed. I wouldn't mind seeing Kendrick Nunn. This guy Kendrick Nunn he wants to be proclaimed as the Rookie of the Year so far. A lot of people are putting Ja Morant, which deservingly so. You know, he's a monster, but Kendrick Nunn does appreciate the I guess recognition, but he wants it to be like, no, number one. So hey, if you want to be the Rookie of the Year, let's see it on both sides, right? That might be the difference of this year's Rookie of the Year, because you got guys like Hero, Barrett, Nunn, and also Morant, offensive studs all around. Can one of these guys, you know, put the clamps on defense? I think Kendrick Nunn has a good size. He's a physical guard, and he's not scared of anything. So I think putting Kendrick Nunn in front of James Harden, at least for a little bit, you know, James Harden's going to go and torch whoever's guarding him. Doesn't matter. But to give him the confidence to go ahead and try to guard him and stop him a little bit, you know, it'll be interesting. I want to see Bam Adebayo get ISO'd onto James Harden for a few possessions to see how James Harden handles that, though.
If Bam D's him up, you got to like Bam against – not that Bam's going to come out and shut him down.
Right.
But it will be a good matchup. I would much rather see Jimmy Butler on him all night.
Exactly.
Than one of these young guys, because Butler's more prepared for a Harden matchup. But Bam's got the length to D up on him. He
sure does. And you know, this Heat team is very fun. I mean, you know, just going back to the rookies that we have, Tyler Hero lighting it up at 16 a game or 14 a game, I believe. And he can put up a 14 like quick. You know, 5 jump shots, he's already at 10. He hits 2 free throws. You know, he gets a three-pointer, couple threes in there, and he just lets it go. So seeing him do that, I noticed that Kendrick Nunn is averaging 17 a game, but he's averaging 10 a game in the He's averaging 10 points a game in the paint, Kendrick Nunn. So as a rookie guard, averaging 10 a game inside, pretty impressive there. It's going to be a longer season. You know, we still haven't even gotten to Christmas or anything like that. Thanksgiving's tomorrow, so happy Thanksgiving for everybody. But it's going to be a hot race going down the line, especially now that Zion Williamson's probably going to come back in December and make a run for his money. So, interesting.
Definitely. But the thing that I picked up in this game, to start this game, the Heat were playing great perimeter defense. Nobody took a shot without a hand in their face.
For sure.
And that's what we're going to need tonight, because you know D'Antoni likes to chuck out the three and play with fast pace.
Yep. We've
shown we can keep our pace high. Now, I don't know if we play Rockets pace.
Right. And we don't want to play Rockets pace. I mean, the Miami Heat are a better, more efficient team. A lot of teams are more efficient than the Rockets. The Rockets don't go based off of efficiency. They're more of the more shots you take, the more you can make. However, you know, with our defense, it's going to be a little tough for them to be able to just push and score, because we get back in transition well. We're fast, we're long, we're athletic. We play, you know, nasty defense. We all know this. So it's going to be tough for Russell Westbrook and James Harden trying to get it going in the open floor and make a lot of things happen with our youth and energy. Obviously, missing Jimmy Butler at 4 steals a game, you know, which I think is number 1 in the league, we're going to miss that. We're going to see that it's going to be a tough game defensively. It's going to be a long game. I'm sure that, you know, it's not going to be a blowout on either way. It might be tight, but I just hope that we compete. You know, we don't put out another output like we did against the Sixers. We can find the ball going in the rim. I think Tyler Hero is going to have more opportunity with Jimmy Butler going out, and Justice Winslow kind of slowly getting back into the mix. You look for Kendrick Nunn to score, and you know, hopefully Bam Adebayo can just bully Capella in the paint. And they can come out with this win. I do believe they're going to come out with this win tonight, though. I truly believe so.
Now, what do you have as your keys to a win? Secure the ball.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny, I'm not going to personally put turnovers, because we've led the league in turnovers all season, and we've lost 4 games. It hasn't really been the issue. Do I wish we cleaned it up? Of course. You know, I hate seeing 19 turnovers, 17 turnovers every single game. However, I do think you know, a key factor is going to be to stop the Rockets in transition on defense. I think Bam Adebayo is going to have some type of presence in this game, whether it's annoying on defense or, you know, getting that ball in the paint and actively, you know, putting it back up. And then the rookies, I think the rookies are going to have a pretty good game. With Jimmy Butler going out, it's just more minutes for Tyler Hero and Kendrick Nunn to be able to do things. Look for Dragic to have a competitive game as well. So if the rookies can score, they can limit transition, and Bam can find his kind of annoyance in this game, I think we'll be fine.
So there you go. We're telling you, the Heat got to slow down on former MVP James Harden tonight. But speaking of MVP, let's talk about what happened on Monday Night Football. The Baltimore Ravens came out.
It was a 45-8 ass whooping.
And they put a hurt.
And they were in L.A., actually. Being in L.A., putting the ass whipping on the Rams, doing whatever they wanted, drinking the fans' beers. Lamar Jackson, this kid right here out of Broward County, we all know this, played high school in Boynton Beach, from Pompano. And this kid just came in the league and shut everybody up. He made everybody look stupid, and it's been a pleasure to watch because I remember, watching this kid in Louisville, like literally Heisman Trophy winning 2016 season, just torching up the whole nation, everybody. He can throw it, he can run it, and he wasn't fumbling a lot. He wasn't throwing turnovers. He wasn't throwing interceptions. So it was just very impressive to see him in college, and it was just like, okay, so there's this kid, from Broward who's playing at Louisville. He runs like Michael Vick. This is college. Then he gets drafted, and we saw him go 30th in the 32nd in the NFL draft, last pick of the first round to the Ravens. And Michael Irvin asked him, what are the Ravens getting out of Lamar Jackson? He said, quote, they're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. Believe that, right? Last year, we see him come in after 6 games or so, 6 or 7 games. He comes in after Flacco gets benched, and he comes and takes the team to the playoffs, changes the whole offense. And as we've talked about, John Harbaugh just turned this team around and made them the Lamar Jacksons, right? He's built everything and does everything around Lamar Jackson, which only benefits him. And now he's silenced the naysayers from last year, making the playoffs and playing a competitive game, almost coming back to beat Phillip Rivers in the playoffs. And now this year, putting up the numbers he has, like 24 touchdowns, only like 3 interceptions. And then Monday night, I mean, he goes and he threw 5 touchdowns Monday night. He threw 5 touchdowns in opening day versus the Dolphins. So you can say Lamar Jackson threw 5 touchdowns versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins are one of the worst teams in the league. But Monday night debut, he's going to put up 5 touchdowns and dismantle week after week. His offense has been dismantled. I know I'm rambling right now, but this is just solidifying him as the front runner of the MVP. Because when you throw for 4 touchdowns versus the Texans against Deshaun Watson, and you go and throw for 5 touchdowns versus the Rams, you go and beat Brady, and score, I think it was 4 touchdowns in that game. There's no fluke.
There is no defense that you could design right now. This guy is, whether he's ad-libbing in the pocket, scrambling around, even when it looked like Aaron Donald, the MVP, was going to get on him, he figured out a way to escape, and I think he threw a touchdown on that play. Yeah, man.
And just the plays he makes, like we saw the run versus Cincinnati with the spin move. We saw a run on Monday Night Football where he jumped in just straight through the middle and was able to cut up and stopped at the 1-yard line. But you can just see with the heart that he plays with, the team is behind him. He has a whole city behind him. And I feel like, especially since the Dolphins suck so bad this year, I feel like Dolphins fans, just not Dolphins fans, but South Florida fans are mini Baltimore Ravens fans. I mean, we just all support this guy, Lamar Jackson, and everything he does. He's not, an embarrassment to the game. He doesn't do anything the wrong way. He goes about his business. He strictly wants to win. He went into Foxborough as a 22 years old, 23, 22. He went into he went into Baltimore and beat the Patriots the first time he played Tom Brady.
And that was when the Patriots were playing the best defense in the NFL, and he went out and just embarrassed them.
It's not just, this is a running quarterback. We're not going to compare him to Michael Vick. Lamar Jackson is better than Michael Vick. Lamar Jackson will be better than Mike was ever. And that's not to say that Michael Vick wasn't, a legend in the league. He wasn't ahead of his time. Lamar Jackson is just doing. Go ahead, man.
Michael Vick.
No.
Better moves.
Lamar Jackson is better than Michael Vick. Yeah. Michael Vick is here, and Lamar Jackson is on this side.
Lamar Jackson is Michael Vick on steroids.
Okay, that's fair enough. Lamar Jackson is Michael Vick with better running moves, as Zoe said, and he can actually throw the ball.
And he ain't scared to stay.
You know what's funny? I was watching an interview with Mike Tirico on Sunday Night Football with Lamar Jackson. He said, he was asking him, who was the quarterback that you grew up watching? He mentioned Brady. He mentioned Mike Vick. He mentioned, I think, another quarterback. But he said, okay, I could see the Vick. I could see but Brady, like, what about Brady's game do you, look at? And he said, I'm poised in the pocket.
Not even just that. If you go look at Lamar Jackson's passes, none of them are longer than 15 yards. Unless it's once or twice a game.
Yeah.
Just like Tom Brady.
He'll take his shots. He's calculated shots. Calculated
Brady
shots.
He ain't gonna throw 30, 40-yard passes so too much a game.
Yep.
He gonna eat that
Yep.
field up.
Yep.
And that's what
And then he'll get the 35 run. He'll get the run for 35 yards. He'll get the big play. That's for sure.
Listen, teams come in and say we game plan for him, but like
that's a spoiled boy right there.
Yeah.
Like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a great plan until you get punched in the face, and that's what teams are coming in with. They have a great plan, a game plan for him.
What's crazy to me is that last year was just Patrick Mahomes and how electric and how much of a show and how fun to watch. And this year, don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes is still throwing great numbers. He did have the ankle injury that kind of set him back and made everybody forget about him. But Lamar Jackson is doing exactly what Patrick Mahomes was doing in a different way. But the excitement is the same. The MVP level of play is the same. And it's also just something we've never seen. So back-to-back years, we're getting quarterback play from a young black kid that we've never seen before, and it's pretty impressive. And you got to give credit where it's due. All of the Booger McFarlands and the Dan what's his name, Bill Polians. Those guys are eating up all their words and all the tweets that they sent out, in the draft when Lamar was coming out. And they're basically like, listen, I gotta give credit where it's due. MVP, Lamar Jackson, MVP. He's playing better than Russell Wilson. He's playing better than your favorite quarterback and your favorite wide receiver. I got Lamar. I'm riding with Lamar. I'm gonna get his jersey, man. This kid is gonna be a legend in the league.
And he's one of Broward County's own. So
we got to find a way to get him on the show.
There you go. Lamar Jackson, we are extending an open invitation for you to come on. The floor is yours. We're not even going to question you. You come up here and talk about whatever you want. It's your hour. But let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the NBA making some changes. So keep it locked here. K1ng Radio, Sports Talk with Joey T and June. Right back after a quick break.
Nothing he do without Udonis Haslem tonight. He's under the weather and not with the ball club.
I can't believe you changed on me. The way don't change on me. I can't believe you changed on me. Used to be my dog, you used to hang with me. I feel like the world done changed on me. The world done changed on me. They don't know my pain, homie. They don't know my pain. They don't know my pain. They don't know my pain. I feel like the world done changed on me. Done changed on me.
I can't believe that I called you my brother and then you changed. Can't believe that you did it this way. We're against the grain. Can't believe when I look in your eyes, shit ain't the same. Hidden animosity from the ones that I call my friends, the ones I broke my neck for, ones I blew a check on. Got me wanting to bust your head cause you went against the code. You either with me or against me, homie. Ain't no middle ground. Ain't no U-turns in my clique. If you leave, don't come back round. Loyalty over love. Do you know what that mean? Mean I could love you with all my heart and still not give a shit about you. Cause your words and your actions ain't matching, and that's the issue. Got me questioning myself like what the fuck I did to niggas.
I can't believe you changed on me. Used to be my dog, you used to hang with me. I feel like the world done changed on me. The world done changed on me. They don't know my pain, homie. They don't know my pain. They don't know my pain. They don't know my pain. I feel like the world done changed on me. Done changed on me.
I show love to some niggas that really deserve an Oscar. Imposter. Can't believe these fake niggas on my roster. Got me thinking you my dog the whole time your nuts crossed. When this shit hit the fan, that's when the truth come out. Don't tell me what that nigga said, but why he said to you. Why you ain't dead it from the start. Got me questioning your heart. Gotta check this sucker shit cause this shit fucking with my mind. Can't say it to my face, so I know you ain't got no spine. Look you dead in your face and call your pussy ass a lie. Can't believe I ain't see this shit coming the whole time. Man, I fed these niggas, took care of these niggas. How the fuck you switch up and try to change on me, nigga?
I can't believe you changed on me. Used to be my dog, you used to hang with me. I feel like the world done changed on me. The world done changed on me. They don't know my pain, homie.
Fake friends for a couple M's. On me, they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Fake friends for a couple M's. On me, they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Fake friends for a couple M's. On me, they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Fake friends for a couple M's. On me, they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Money is the issue. What come around might hit you. Soon you get richer. Then when they start to take pictures, after that come and get you. 9 out of 10 to be them niggas that you did with. That turn snitchers. That's why I play them like fishing, man. Play fishers. And bait them up and be the swiftest. For years they was out to get this. If I was a drug lord on the cigarette bird getting missing, can't be stopped. Life so fast because you know your boy stay too hot. I don't really give a damn cause them haters gon' watch. I'ma tell them yeah like a bitch, go ahead and flaunt. Whoa nigga, fake friends. I could give a damn about them dividends. Fake friends. Plotting just to do a nigga what in. Fake friends for a couple M's. On me they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Fake friends for a couple M's. On me they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Fake friends for a couple M's. On me they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Fake friends for a couple M's. On me they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Niggas catching cases like snitches, sexy transmit them. Never in my life have I seen so many snitches. Live ones I die, they came as I knew it is a rap. Look how they had it on my homie Mike. Gotta finally get that time back, but I'm gonna rep the bloodline. Show these snitches real cheese, don't die. I'm supposed to speak. If you're outspoken, then you lose your privileges from these streets. Where I'm from, we don't crash charge against each other. We said I spewed in the streets. Our hood is our judge, our jury, our executioner. This streets is biblical. They even got Jesus through a snitch. Pointing them out from his own clicks. Snitching been going on since the ancient. So you better be careful who you deal and hang with. Cause they might be the reason why you doing a long bid. Why you doing a long bid? Fake friends for a couple M's. On me they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Fake friends for a couple M's. On me they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Fake friends for a couple M's. On me they'll do you in, they'll do you in. Fake friends for a couple M's. On me they'll do you in, they'll do you in.
Faut mourir m'promet tout, faut que moi couronner tout. Et si ça pas fait un jour, même dans ce là m'tap mon tout, m'tap boule dans mon glas, dans cadavre moi m'tap font l'autre tout. Parce que yon mon sang ou c'est yon zombie qui pral mourir chaque jour. Facts. M'pas besoin relation cocotte avec Figaro. Moi trop fait relation Juliette avec Romeo. K1ng qui remet tout, pour nous remet nous, pour nous remet jeune remet en tant que lolo à manger. Pour nous remet l'autre tant que lolo à manger. Oui pour nous d'amour l'autre tant que lolo à manger. K1ng supporter l'autre tant que lolo à manger. Pour K1ng respecter l'autre tant que pour nous remet l'autre tant que lolo à manger. Oui pour nous d'amour l'autre tant que lolo à manger. M'les défait Timoun tant que lolo à manger. Timoun qui semble à nous tant que cap pour faire porte qu'elle va m'entrer. Les locales moyen pas vlem, cap rappeler qui est moyen, les morales moyen bas pied. Faut le pas payer chèque à choc, chaque les bagaille yo pas chic. Faut le faire qu'em piquem douce tant que tabasco asik. Pour le faire petit bébé qu'on y a, son bébé m'pas qu'attend nous fait. L'aime gâte tête nous pour n'ti waouh, pour n'ti gade ça l'amour fait. Et si ou pas j'en perdi ça me senti. C'est parce que m'pas vle perdi ça m'envie so. M'pas besoin relation cocotte avec Figaro. Moi trop fait relation Juliette avec Romeo. K1ng qui remet tout, pour nous remet nous, pour nous remet jeune remet en tant que lolo à manger. Pour nous remet l'autre tant que lolo à manger. Oui pour nous d'amour l'autre tant que lolo à manger. K1ng supporter l'autre tant que lolo à manger. Pour K1ng respecter l'autre tant que pour nous remet l'autre tant que lolo à manger. Oui pour nous d'amour l'autre tant que lolo à manger. M'les défait Timoun tant que lolo à manger. Timoun qui semble like no doubt. Yo, let me babe, do you love me? Pretty yes, boo, I do. Can you live without me? No, sans ou ma fou. Pour le défendre, moi les familles traiter me crap, y'a ti volo. Let me di Haïti, baby. Pour le dim Haïti, lolo. Les guillons à parler, m'tête frette, qui m'pas sauter. Les bouches nous longues, n'a piut. Yo même c'est tupé, à tupé. Nous pas pressé, ti parti, parler, naka. Même l'emboie, li prend pas soul pour nous parler, parole tafia. Mauvais payas, pas gain chance, craser ça, zéro tolérance. Sincère, oui, je cherche non. Relation, ça pas gain rance. Mon d'amour va chanter l'histoire, nous dans tout champ d'espérance. Suis ton lolo, t'es maman, zé qu'on y a gouilla d'expérience. Pow! People beat! To être sick! Yo pas de ton parti ça. Son point yo là. Sibo, chire la bla. Topo. Pip. And if you. There's Alex. Oui, pour nous d'amour, l'autre un coup. M'lé des fêtes, il moun d'un coup. Pata, et puis master, Gardez-vous, c'est beau.
He wanna fuck on me while he suck on my breast. Fuck no little hoe, I ain't gon' put you on no sweat. How you gon' learn if I let you copy my test? I ain't got no motherfucking friends, bitch. You just tryna fuck with me cause I'm lit. Diamonds on my neck and diamonds all on my wrist. Yo stupid ass thought you was gon' come up quick. Fucking in the bed, 5 minutes in the Netflix. He like my chocolate skin, so he call me Nesquik. This choco make a nigga fucking melt. I don't want your help, I do this shit myself. If she pop her pussy for a designer belt, call her Gucci, bitches sell themselves. If she pop her pussy for a designer belt, call her Gucci, bitches sell themselves. Why these bitches ain't give me my respect yet? I guess I gotta walk around with the tech. I'ma make you feel me, I'ma say it with my chest. I wish Tupac was wearing a bulletproof vest. I'm tired of all these pussy ass niggas, it's a bitch. He wanna fuck on me while he suck on my breast. Fuck no little hoe, I ain't gon' put you on no sweat. How you gon' learn if I let you copy my test? Fuck all of you niggas that doubted me. I'm proud of myself, I'm astonishing. If I see a bad bitch that I'm following, come and get nigga mouth, bitch, he's swallowing. I done wrote so many songs, call me author. Back when I was broke, I was watching Arthur. Don't you try me, bitch, cause I'll fuck on your father. He read me bedtime stories before we go to bed. Bring me a glass of milk and then he give me head. He's supposed to be at home with your mama instead. But he with me, he dropped me off to the flea. He bought me my goatee, introduced me to Trick Daddy. Now I'm sliding on the beach, got the baddest bitches with me. Went to Walmart, made the key, it's the key to my city. Why these bitches ain't give me my respect yet? I guess I gotta walk around with the tech. I'ma make you feel me, I'ma say it with my chest. I wish Tupac was wearing a bulletproof vest. I'm tired of all these pussy ass niggas, it's a flex. He wanna fuck on me while he suck on my breast. Fuck no little hoe, I ain't gon' put you on no sweat. How you gon'
Bust out the rollie, see my face in it. Clean it, dirty money, see the stains in it. Hit the strip club, make it rain with it. Counting all this money with the same niggas. Only day ones, it's 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 the same paper cuts from the money, double cuts from the drink. Got the stars in the ceiling, couple mil in the safe. Got a gun for every fit and designer on my waist. Whoa, steady throwing money on the stage, smoking on the finest kush, popping bottles in the spade. Had to leave my dog home cause he got an open case. Tell him don't worry about it cause we do it every day.
niggas.
Only day ones is the same niggas.
Same niggas.
Only day ones is the same niggas.
Only day ones, it's the same niggas. Lemon squeeze, hair trigger, fuck it, it's the same trigger. Listen, little nigga, you was fucking with insane nigga. I hit you and the niggas that came with you. Hit you in the stomach and have you walking like a lizard. Leave you to them Haitians and no, I'm the grand wizard. You call me boss, fuck nigga, never call me mister. Are you really mad? Cause I fucked your mom and your sister, pussy ass nigga. Have you walking house with bliss? Hot Tech 9, have you fried like some chicken gizzards? I ain't Tiger Bears, fuck nigga, I'm a real gorilla. I'm a real nigga that walk with Miami hitters. Fight your ass Sunday, Monday eating coke fritters. Name me one nigga that really knows 200 killers. Hanging with pussy niggas really make a nigga bitter. Listen to that old trick, there was no nigga realer.
Bust down the rollie, see my face in it. Clean it, dirty money, see the stains in it. Hit the strip club, make it rain with it. Counting all this money with the same niggas. Only day ones is 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 the same niggas.
Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. To the club, once again, I'm hurting feelings through my wrist side. That bitch sick, still need penicillin, ain't no better feeling than getting millions and splurging with all of my niggas. Y'all get mad, hey bitch, we got riches. Y'all tryna still take pictures, yeah. Y'all ain't no real niggas, yeah. I can make your bitch gon' get up, yeah. I can make your bitch gon' get up, yeah. Walk through the club on they knee, yeah. These bitches, they stuck in my seat, yeah. I got that drip all on me, yeah. I got that drip all on me, that's sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. Girl, I got that drip on me. The type that gonna make you cream, yeah. Girl, I got that drip on me. The type that'll make you scream, yeah. You ain't never had a dude like me, yeah. I'm dripping sauce, as you can see, yeah. I got the soup, I got the pot, girl, I'm the recipe. I can tell that you niggas ain't fresh as me. I got swag, yeah, bitch, I got swag, well. I'm in Dubai, buying shit you never had. I can make a bitch take her top off. I'm up in the whip with the top off. She ain't never have a nigga that wrong. She ain't never have a nigga that wrong. I'm harder than you ever been. Ay. Swagging with all of my friends. Ay. I got that drip in the end, bitch. I got that drip on me hand. Yeah, that's sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce. Still I'm dripping sauce. No a nigga dripping. Still I'm dripping sauce.
Such I'm not fair every day. Fuck nigga bitch every day. Bouler la jeunesse je pleure. Musique me fait bête je dead. Such I'm not fair every day. Fuck nigga bitch every day. Bouler la jeunesse je pleure. Musique me fait bête je dead. Such I'm never got fed every day. Papi Mali fucking every day. Me get better wa femi on a drop la. Sexy belle bouda nego ka twet la. Music me fait better de cette table la. Drops na nego ka wese me twet la. Me stop la nego ma vina force. Ou so walk nego me son boss. Me get bad bitches to nego ele. Madame ou toujours check me eli. Ma pick up on ma sauce to a mile. Avec tout better je take a selfie. Chaque jour tu sens qu'à faire me get défi. Better freaking nego li bom défi.
You are now tuned in to K1ng Radio, the #1 independent radio station in South Florida.
Sports Talk with Joey T and June live. K1ng Radio, Miami.
Lillard picked up by Ingram. Lillard. This is for the win.
With some news that they have decided to implement a new seeding system for the playoffs, and what it would basically be is the 8 teams with the most wins will make the playoffs.
Yeah, and they also, another big thing that they were saying was, like, if they keep the format the same as far as the East versus the West, you know, the top in the East, top in the West, they can keep it that way. But then once the Eastern Conference Finals finishes, or excuse me, once you have the Eastern Conference Finals set and the Western Conference Finals set, they're going to reseed that top 4 by best record. So perfect example would be going back to 2018, I think it was, when the Warriors played the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals, and that should have been the finals. Well, they were the 2 best teams, and then you had the Cavs might have played against Milwaukee or so. It doesn't matter, but you would have taken that 4 right there, and you would have put, number 1 seed would have been the Rockets, or excuse me, the Warriors. I think the Rockets had the best record in the league that year. Then the Warriors, then the Cavs, and then the last 4 in the East, so that you can potentially have the 2 best teams with the best records playing each other, as opposed to just the best team in the East versus the best team in the West, which over the last couple years have been the West. I mean, I'm kind of for it. I'm for it in the sense of reseeding the last 4 teams, because you can get that potential best team available finals. However, there's a lot more that goes into all of this than just, reseeding teams and, doing this playoff format over, or doing like an in-season tournament, as they're saying. It changes a lot. So what you have to think about is, like, there's guys that miss, 15 games a year. We're looking at a Kawhi Leonard who can miss a good 17, 18 games this year. Guys like that, or people, whoever's just taking load management, who the NBA came out and said load management means rest. They're gonna have that record, at whatever it is, and then a team that goes hard and actually is playing every day, they'll come out with the better record. But at the end of the day, things can all get shaken up, depending on how the NBA decides to do their playoff seeding. So there's just going to have to be a lot of factors thought about before any changes are made. And I think personally Adam Silver is a great commissioner for the league, and he's only progressed the league since he's come in around, 2011-ish. So I don't have any doubts that, any change that the NBA does make as far as playoffs or new formats and stuff like that, it should be for the better.
Now, one of the things they showed as the stats for this that worked out well is, if you look at last year when the Blazers came in as a 6th seed after winning the Northwest Division, they would have been a 4 seed in the East. So 4 plays 5, 6 plays 3.
Right.
So rather than win your division, play a 3, or come in as a 4 seed, play a 5 seed.
Yeah, and it's.
I mean, that gives incentive to win the division.
For sure, and exactly that's when you're going to start looking at, all right, now do I want to, am I going to have this much load management? Because it might be more important to play as hard in the season as possible than, just kind of getting through and then making the playoffs and being able to do it that way. So, like I said, I think Adam Silver is going to make the best move for the NBA, but all things considered, it can get a little weird if they do start making these changes. But for a change like that, where you're going to get the best teams in the playoffs, the teams that played better than everybody else is, seated higher, it only makes sense. So I'm kind of for that as well. I don't know about this in-season tournament that we've heard about, but we're just going to have to see. And everything is trial and error. You could see them implement it for a season or two and then kind of just go back to the regular ways. Whatever they do has to work. And if it doesn't work, you best believe they're going to take it away. So I'm sure we'll see some trial and error. It'll take time, probably, seasons at a time. But Adam Silver, you got to give it up to him.
Definitely. He's progressed the game of basketball so much further than David Stern ever did. He's embraced gambling, fantasy sports.
He doesn't care about your dress code.
Exactly. Now, the thing that I think this matches up for better playoff matches But the NBA can basically say, okay, you know what? Let's see. 8 versus 1 is going to be a horrible matchup. If we put this team at 6, play 6, and they can play around with that. And the NBA is made for TV, without a doubt.
Right.
And they're trying to compete with football. Now, of course, anything that involves objectivity, just look at the college football playoff. You have a bunch of guys sitting in a room trying to decide, arguing amongst themselves. Who's 1, who's 2. Speaking of which,
I thought we was going to talk about that too.
Ohio State jumps up back up to the number 1 spot.
Not too much of a fan. They're playing great football. I will say Ohio State is playing great football. And honestly, Joey, you got this Hurricanes Duke preview we want to talk about. They've just frustrated me so much looking back at the FIU week that let's talk about this college football real quick. This is top 5, and then we'll talk about the Canes. But as far as the top 5, I don't really understand Ohio State getting the jump over LSU at the number 1 spot. The toughest game they've played, Penn State on the road. Bama lost to LSU at home. LSU hasn't done anything but impress all year. Their defense has been stout. They beat a good Florida team, and Joe Burrow had a Heisman game that game as well. They beat Auburn. The resume is there. They've had the hardest working resume as a top 5 team in the country, and I feel like Ohio State kind of gets babied here.
LSU comes out and blows out everybody on their schedule in front of them. That's all they could do. Yeah, last week they got Arkansas. Arkansas may be one of the worst programs right now.
Right.
A team without a head coach.
Go ahead, man.
You get an SEC team, they're going to continue. Usually you get an SEC bias.
Yeah.
So for a big team to jump them, is that just big money in the college football playoff system? Trying to set up a big matchup for New Year's Day?
I'll say this. If I'm LSU, I don't know if I'm complaining at 2. Because if you got to play a Georgia over a Clemson for that first game, you kind of might be lucky right here. I think the committee might be wanting that as far as, LSU in this championship is going to be fun. Joe Burrow is going to win the Heisman. Don't get me wrong, Justin Fields and company is going to be a fun time. But I think if we let Clemson versus OSU thug it out, the winner of that game versus the winner of the LSU, and if it's Georgia, whoever's at that 4th spot, I think we're going to get our best championship. So I don't complain in the sense of, as a fan watching the game, but, if you're talking about who deserves to be number 1, who put the record up, who's put the resume, whose quarterback is doing it all season, I think you got to argue that LSU has had it harder and made more of what they can. So I think the committee will get it right. This top 5 doesn't matter yet. If LSU loses, it all goes to shit, and we don't even talk about them. But
till we get to SEC
week 13, yeah, week 13.
But Ohio State plays Michigan this weekend.
Yeah, and Mike Greenberg is predicting a Michigan upset. I have the slightest of thought.
I have my doubts, but Ohio State with a first-year head coach, is he ready for the big game?
That's true.
I mean, he's going to walk into the stadium with 100,000 people in it.
That's true.
Is he going to shit his pants, or is he going to be prepared?
I don't know. I don't think their quarterback shits his pants. And that's more important in my opinion. I think this guy doesn't turn the ball over. He makes the smart plays. Mike Weber is a phenomenal running back. And quite frankly, what is it, John Harbaugh or Jim? Is it Jim? It's Jim. John's got the Lamar train going. But Jim right now, I mean, he hasn't won versus Ohio State in his Michigan career. And I don't think this changes. I don't think now that Ohio State, just because they lose Urban Meyer, first of all, they have a Heisman candidate. They have their running back, as I mentioned, Mike Weaver. And they have a ferocious defense with Chase Young as another Heisman candidate. I don't think this is the year that they slip up and Michigan comes to upset them. I don't care if they're at home on the road, or whatever the case is. The clear-cut better team for the last 5 years, but especially this year, is Ohio State. So if you're going to put it at the coach's hands, I don't think that these games are even going to come down to the coach's hands. It wasn't, it got a little close versus Penn State, I'll say that, but turnovers did it. And, you know, hey, if Justin Fields goes and has a bad game, then, hey, we can't do nothing or say anything about that. But the way the season has gone, I don't see any hiccups, and I do see that New Year's game is going to be, you know, Ohio State's going to be included in there.
Until somebody proves differently, Ohio State's a machine. And we'll see what happens after this weekend when the playoff rankings come out next Tuesday. But speaking of this weekend, let's take a quick look at Duke and Miami. Miami, off a loss to FIU, is a 9-point favorite. I don't know how this Miami team's a 9-point favorite against anybody.
Yeah.
But they still got talent on the roster.
That's what it is.
They played Duke with the senior quarterback in Quinton Williams.
Listen, all I need, if this can be my holiday gift from the Hurricanes as like the final write-off of the season. You know, I remember when we played Virginia at home, and we said, you know, we beat Virginia. We could go and beat Georgia Tech. We beat Pittsburgh. We beat Florida State. We beat Louisville. We had it going. But then you come out and lose to FIU. First of all, in the fashion that you lost. Secondly, the fact that you lost. You let Butch Davis do it. You let FIU, who has nowhere near the talent that Miami has. It wasn't about the talent. It was about the heart. And all I want to see on Saturday is the Hurricanes play with heart. All I want to see is the defense playing fast like they're supposed to. Can Manny Diaz make adjustments if needed? Can Blake Baker call the correct defense? Can Dan Enos actually whisper to Jaron Williams? None of this has happened. And that's why they're sitting at 6-5 with a chance to be at 500 at the end of the season.
So we have Duke this weekend, and then we're going to have the Horseshit Bowl sometime.
I don't even know what bowl we're going to be qualified for.
Maybe the Bahamas Bowl.
If we lose this game 6-6, it's going to look bad.
No,
it's going to be bad.
We'll just get an automatic ACC bid to one stupid bowl somewhere. Maybe the Wyoming Bowl, or what's the one in Idaho? The Idaho Potato Bowl.
Potato
There
Bowl.
we go. We're going to the Potato Bowl. So.
Shit.
But I'm not even going to talk about the Hurricanes anymore because this shit's pissing me off. Let's get out of here. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And remember, tonight, make sure you tune in K1NGRadio.com and find us on Facebook. We're going to be out at G5 interviewing artists tonight.
Yes, sir.
So,
happy Thanksgiving.
Catch us back on next Monday. Yeah, buddy, we're out of here.
You are now tuned in to K1ng Radio, #1 independent radio station in South Florida.
Every day, voulez la jeunesse au club. Musique me fait bête au dead. C'est ça que je fais every day.